This is DogeVille. You guys are a play to earn project. I always find those very exciting. And so I'm going to let you take it away. Tell us a bit about your background in crypto and kind of what you're trying to do with this project.
Cool, man. Yeah, sure. Let me first give a quick introduction about DogeVille. So DogeVille is a upcoming play-to-earn game. We're getting a lot of motivation and inspiration from Stardew Valley and Farmville. We're trying to recreate something similar within cryptocurrency, utilizing NFTs, a lot of the stuff that's currently going on within cryptocurrency, and try to create really something exciting in which this player-driven economy to really try and utilize the NFTs aspect as well, create an NFT marketplace, mutations within NFTs, which we can get to later on, just a lot of cool stuff that we want to implement. As far as me personally, I've been really active within cryptocurrency ever since February. I went full-time in March. Since then, I've managed and helped a lot of other projects to get off their feet and basically give them my insights and advise them a lot. I helped Baby Shark get off the ground, which some of you guys might know. I also helped Rainicorn at the early stages get them off the ground. And I've worked on a lot of other projects which also have done well, but not like in a way that they're really worth that much like mentioning. These are really the two pristine projects that like really took off. But yeah, basically, I do still do it sometimes. I still help other projects, give them my insights, see where I can help them, and really try to get them to a solid state. I also do some managing. I've managed a lot of projects before. Really try to get the staff team unioned and just working on the same page and really making sure that they are working at the best potential. And then about 2 months ago, we came up with the idea for DogeVille, trying to utilize and mobilize the people that I know, the people that are really good within this crypto space, that know what they're doing, and basically created a team that's solid. And for the past month and a bit, we have just been steaming ahead, trying to make DogeVille a reality.
No, are you still there?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Something's happening today with my computer. So can you explain a bit about the project itself, DogeVille, the roadmap, what you guys have planned for each of the phases, and kind of where you all see yourselves by the end of this year?
Yeah, man. So first of all, I would like to mention that we had some content when at first we came out. This was due to us first wanting to release a Unity game, but we ran into a ton of problems with security. We want to make sure that DogeVille was a secure game in which nothing could happen. I just realized that us creating a web-based game was the best way to do this. And web-based is a lot more secure. So we ended up about 2 weeks in switching to completely web-based. Ever since then, we have been focusing on our web-based game. So what we have planned for the game, some of these features have been added already. Some features are here to come in the first quarter of 2022. So right now we have the greenhouse. So let me just start at the beginning. Players are able to mint NFTs at the beginning. These Evolution Zero NFTs will be the base of the game. Evolution Zero NFTs can be minted, basically mutating to create more NFTs, to create a player-driven economy. So the players with NFTs can create more NFTs. These are all going to be tradable on our NFT marketplace, which has already been pretty much done. It's pretty much done with development, and it's going to be releasing on the 11th of January. This week, on the 4th of January, we are releasing our first NFTs, which are going to be the Evolution Zero NFTs. And then on the 11th of January, we have our NFT marketplace come up. After that, we are going to be heading straight to the mutations. This is where we have the greenhouse for. The greenhouse is going to act as a place for players to check their NFTs and their stats. Our NFTs all have stats, all custom, which makes every single NFT unique. And next to that, the greenhouse also functions as a way for players to mutate their NFTs. And this is the really exciting part about the game. Players are able to get 4 tiers for NFTs, which starts at common all the way to legendary, and with all custom stats. And obviously the legendary NFTs that's with the best stats. Players are then able to head to the farm fields with these NFTs, able to plant them on the ground, and players are able to collect crops. These crops, which as of it stands right now, which I haven't said before, are all going to act as have their own liquidity pool, and they're all going to be tradable on their own. So basically every single crop could have at its end their own coin market cap, their own coin gecko. But don't be worried, this is not like we just create new coins every time. This works more in a way that players are able to plant their NFTs on the farmlands, and that's the way they obtain more coins. So it's not like we just have a set amount of coins. So the coins are actually really valuable. And then we're going to create a way later on where you're going to add more buildings to the game, where players are able to use the bakery and such, create farm wheat and whatnot. And this wheat, they're going to be able to turn into bread, for example, and the bread is going to serve multiple purposes, let's say, or they can sell them for DogeVille tokens, or they can get them to get like other unique NFTs, which would like cost a bunch of bread, basically. Just creating more ways for people to spend DogeVille tokens. Everything in the game as well, you have to use DogeVille tokens. We're trying to make it so we really create a sink of DogeVille. We're trying to really decrease the DogeVille tokens in circulation. Right now we have done this with the barn. We have a barn out. The barn acts as a place for players to store their DogeVille tokens for a chance to win Evolution Zero NFTs, which is going to be the most rare NFTs ever, since there's only ever going to be 75 in circulation, which only 50 will be in the game at the beginning. Players are able to win an NFT. This is based on a ticket system where the more DogeVille tokens you put in, the higher chance you have at winning. And as of right now, we peaked at around $1.1 million put into the barn, which accounted for we peaked around 39.5% of the total supply put into the barn. So there's a lot of trust going within our community, which is awesome to see. Players are really able to, people are really trusting us and putting their money into the barn. I don't see many other projects which have players put 39.5% of the total supply into the barn. Players are able to withdraw this at any time. We're not trying to screw anyone over or whatnot. The barn really acted for us away, which I told in our general briefing last time. The barn had its function, which was the Evolution Zero NFTs, but basically the real reason we did this wasn't for the Evolution Zero NFTs, for these to give away, but we had another thing in mind, which was because with the other projects I've worked with before, I know that creating trust with our holders is a huge part, and getting your community to rally behind you even when prices are down is one of the best things you can have, and it really takes your project forward. And we want to try to do this as early on as possible. This is why we created the barn. Like people are able to put their tokens into like a third-party contract, and they are able to withdraw anytime. And basically on the 4th of January, when everybody withdraws their tokens again or like leaves them in there, they know that we're legit. We're not running off with anything or whatever. And this was done in a way for us to say, like, basically to new holders that come in after the 4th of January or whatever, that they know that they can trust us and they know we're not running off of anything. Anyone that tries to come into our project and tries to FUD or tries to say like we're not legit, they don't have anything going for themselves. And like any holder of us that was there at this time can know that the amount of money stored into the barn and nothing happened to it, they know we're the legit deal. And that was one of the other reasons why we created the barn. And yeah, just a lot of awesome stuff. So we have the map out as well, which is like where everybody can check. Like the game, a part of it is live right now. You can go to our website and you can check it out for anyone that's new here and hasn't heard of us before. So you can head to the game, check out its first functions. We have the barn live for now. We have our marketplace live for now, so players are able to swap BNB for DogeVille tokens easily in game. We have done this because there's a lot of people within cryptocurrency that might know how to buy BNB or whatever, but might not be very up to date with how PancakeSwap and all of that works, because they're quite new. This is why we have made our own marketplace, which is basically a PancakeSwap skin for people to easily swap BNB for DogeVille and the other way around. We see this getting utilized a lot. A lot of people using it, which is great to see. And next to that, we also have the silo. The silo is where people, once they have harvested their crops, the crops are all going to be going. Players are able to see all their crops like stored there. And yeah, just a lot of cool stuff. These are just like some of the first functions that we will be adding in the first quarter. We have a lot of stuff prepared. We're also going to be adding the bank, which is going to be real staking, where people are going to be able to lock the tokens away. They're going to be getting 1/3 of the tax that is made on the NFT marketplace, plus a certain amount of DogeVille tokens, which we have stored. We have about 10% of the tokens vested right now, which we will be utilizing for players at stake and whatnot. A lot of cool stuff that's going to be happening. We're really pushing forward. The development has been going great, and we're just trying to focus on the game right now and try to get that to a really solid state. So that's basically like reply. Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. That's basically what the overview of like what we got going right now.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like you guys are building quite the robust ecosystem. You have different tiered, kind of similar to heroes. You literally just gave us a lot of information about the project, and I appreciate that. I am having a better understanding. It kind of sounds like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with DeFi Kingdoms, but it does sound like a bit similar, but I'm sure also different in DeFi Kingdoms as far as having a bank and having a farm, and you guys are creating kind of an ecosystem where people can lock liquidity in and earn yield and so on and so forth. But one question I do have for you, and with most play to earn projects, what's really enticing about play to earn to most people is being able to make money by playing a video game. And from what you described, users will be earning DogeVille. Am I correct?
Yes, you're going to be earning DogeVille, or you're going to be earning crops, which are going to be able to be sold for DogeVille.
Okay. And so can you kind of describe plans, maybe some burning mechanisms you have for DogeVille, some ways that you all plan on keeping it scarce? Because as we're seeing, and Axie Infinity is a great example, SLP right now, which is the main token that players earn, is suffering because the game doesn't have enough burn mechanisms. So what are some plans you guys have for DogeVille and the underlying token to make sure that players are able to earn and kind of keep people engaged into your ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as of right now, which I didn't really touch on before, we have the mutation. So basically where players are going to be putting 2 NFTs to earn another one. This is also going to be costing a bunch of DogeVille tokens as the price rises. This is also going to be getting more expensive. These tokens are then taken out of circulation and not going to be put back into them. So we're creating a lot of ways for us to decrease the amount of DogeVille in circulation, whilst also making sure that players are able to earn more DogeVille. So the mutations is one part of them. And then we have the NFT marketplace as well, which we are also going to be taxing, and we are going to be taking more DogeVille tokens out of circulation. And just like right now, as of right now, with the Evolution Zero NFTs that we are going to be releasing, 20 of them are going to be up for purchase, and we're going to be trying to like find a nice spot in between where they're not too expensive but still quite expensive, because we've realized the more tokens we can take out of supply this early on, it's going to be better in the like at the later stage. So like we're trying to create as many ways of us for people to spend the DogeVille tokens and get them out of circulation, basically. Which we are also going to be doing with the barn and such. With the bank and such. But yeah, just trying to create multiple ways of players to just spend the DogeVille tokens. And we have like a lot more in store, which I can't go on talk about right now, because like that's still like early in the development. And I've said this like at the first general briefing we gave, we're not here to give any false promises to people. So we are really just focusing on what we know we can deliver, and anything that might be in the pipeline but we're not very certain if we're going to be doing this way. We just don't talk about it yet, but we have a lot more to come for players to be able to spend DogeVille. And just looking at I see the problem as well with other play to earn projects. I think you really have to stay involved with your project and make sure that the ecosystem you are trying to create is going to be there on the long term, and you're not making any mistakes. And that's why we're really trying to focus on making sure that what we make is actually viable and is going to be here in the long term. That's why we're not trying to rush a play to earn model, and just really think about the best ways of doing this.
Right, like slow and steady wins the race. And is there going to be a buy sell tax for people that purchase this on the spot market?
Yeah, so as of right now, we have 12% tax on all our transactions. However, we think that in the long term, if we really want to become a successful play to earn model, we want to lower our tax. So later down the road, we get a lot bigger. We're also going to be thinking about lowering our tax slowly and hopefully get to like 0 or 1% later down the line. And just making sure that like with the staking, we can maybe like get our liquidity pool and everything that like up that way, and trying to like decrease our tax like slowly. So basically taking out rewards later over time, so like players are able to earn them through the staking, and trying to get down to like a 0% tax later down the road when we know the NFT marketplace getting a lot of volume, so we can keep up the game development and the marketing from that.
Certainly. And how many devs do you currently have working on this? And are you guys doxed? Is your team doxed?
So as of right now, we have 4 developers working on this. They all work on different things. So we have some full stack developers, and then we have some people focusing on Solidity. We are still hiring more developers though, because we really want to push this project forward. They don't all focus on the same thing either. So we got some people looking at the game right now, but then we got some people looking at the website and everything and trying to make everything look cool for that. We release our dashboards where people are able to check the rewards on, and just making sure that we keep updating our game. So as of right now, we got 4, but we're still looking to hire more in the future. Where at the moment we have around $50,000 in our marketing/development funds, which is also going to be taking us a long way for that. We're not trying to spend any money on stupid stuff, and really try to utilize the money as best as we can. This is why we also haven't been focusing a bunch on our marketing, but really trying to, what I've noticed from working on a lot of other projects is basically that we can utilize our money much better by spending it on a utility and creating something solid, other than going around and like buying a bunch of call channels to call us out early on when they look at our project and see that we don't have a lot going on. So we're really trying to first push our utility before we really started doing a massive marketing push. And as far as our doxing goes, none of our team is doxed. But I will say this, I think when there's over $1 million staked in our barn and nobody's running off with it and everybody is able to get their money back, I don't think there are going to be any security risks involved. I think we're doing just fine. We're going to be working on the trust with our holders along the way. But I think this is like a great start, like having 39.5% of the entire supply staked for a chance to win an Evolution Zero NFT. I think that speaks volume.
Certainly, and you just answered my next question, which was regarding your marketing. And so, if you were to say you had any competitors in this space, who would they be? But more importantly, what are some play-to-earn projects you guys are looking at right now, ones that have been around for longer than you all, and kind of taking lesson points from those? And what kind of lesson points are you taking from those to make sure your projects has a successful future?
So I think the main project which you called out earlier, DeFi Kingdoms, we take a lot of inspiration from them. We like the base of our game is also kind of, I wouldn't say copied, but like a lot of inspiration is taken from that, like getting a solid base out of our game. We are looking a lot at DeFi Kingdoms. And I see like what they did early on, which isn't really bad, but more like positive things. The way they communicate with their community and just staying up to date and constantly pushing out updates. I don't have anything bad to say about them. So basically, like some positive points which we would like to copy. It's basically just staying involved with our community and making sure that we keep pushing out these updates, because these guys keep coming out with cool stuff for their project. And we want to really create something similar in which we constantly have updates. We are able to put our developers on like a monthly salary, and we just keep working and we just keep adding more stuff for players to see and more opportunities for people to come in and think, hey, this is like a really cool project. As far as like other NFT play to earn projects, one of the things that I see going wrong within the space is definitely people promising a lot. I think there's a lot of these Unity projects out there which are launching with basic models and everything, which you can basically, like if you're like a developer or someone known within the space or like know what's going on within the space, you know that a lot of these games are basically just releasing videos of their content or whatnot. And there's really not much actually going on for them. Like people don't realize that creating a Unity game from scratch and making it blockchain integrated is almost not viable. Like the amount of security risks that go on with this, and the amount like you have to have servers hosting them on the back end and whatnot. And I don't think people realize the amount of security risks that is attached to this. And I think people look at these other projects and they see they're like Unity based, like they have like really cool graphics and whatnot. You really have to think about themselves and ask them hard questions, like how are you going to integrate this within the blockchain? Because I don't think a lot of these projects have looked at that. And what we are trying to focus on is really trying to create something that players know that what we say we are actually coming out with. So I've seen a lot of false promises within other projects that I've been involved in, and just not delivering. And I think if there's one thing that's making your holders get pissed or whatever, or like frustrated, is if you promise them things and you're not delivering. So that's one of the points that we are trying to really push as a play to earn project, just trying to really create a solid base in which the players, our holders, can trust us with their money and know that we are coming out with what we say.
Yeah, agreed. And I think you nailed it. DeFi Kingdoms, one thing they do great is engage the community. They have a very active Discord, and first and foremost, you have to build a good game. But after that, it's really important to kind of that's what drew a lot of early investors in, honestly. So I think you guys are doing that right. Can you tell us a bit about any partnerships you have?
So as of right now, we don't really have any partnerships going on. Coinzilla is working with us for some ads. We asked them to like help us out. So if we quickly want to get ads up on like PooCoin or whatever we can. So they were helping us with the ads. However, as of right now, we don't have any partnerships going on. I know a lot of people within the space, a lot of projects which I think would be interested in partnership. However, I'm not going to be contacting $100 or $50 million project if we're at 2 million and we don't have much going on yet. Obviously, with the first utility out, but I think once we can really push the NFTs, the marketplace, the mutations within the greenhouse and like the farm fields, and like really get this the thing what's like driving our game out there, and like for people to see, that's when we can really start contacting these games and say like, hey, would you be interested in like some kind of partnership, like these metaverse projects or whatever, and like try to integrate them into our projects. We can also like work together with NFT projects, create custom seeds or whatever. Like there's a lot of ways for us to do this, but I'm just really trying to focus on creating something solid before we reach out with them, because obviously there's a risk for them to partner with us, as long as we don't have much going on, whatnot. They don't know, like they're putting themselves on the line to like work together with us. So we're just really focusing on our utility as first, and then we will be contacting them. And I just know that like there's a lot of people that know within space, a lot of people that my team knows within the space, and we just have a lot of contacts. And like once we get to the stage that we think, okay, we are at that stage that we know that these projects would actually be interested and we have something to offer to them, that's when we'll be working together with them, and the announcements will start coming.
Wow, well, great. I think what you guys are building is really cool, and it sounds like you have a plan and you guys are executing on it. So I'm gonna first of all, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you sharing all this about your project. I apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning. I'm gonna open up the conversation to members of our community and see if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, no, I got a question.
All right.
So I know you spoke about NFTs at the beginning briefly. Can you talk about how the NFTs themselves are going to actually incorporate with the farming, and whether or not different NFTs will have different APYs or yielding percentages or however it's calculating, please?
Yeah, for sure. So we have so let's say we have the harvesting luck. We have stats on the NFTs such as water, which the max can be 50. You spend 10 water on planting your NFT. So basically the way this works is players with good NFTs are able to harvest a lot more often due to their water restoring faster or having more water. So that's the first point. Next to that, we have the mutations. The players with Evolution Zero NFTs are obviously going to be having unlimited mutations. So these players are going to be able to supply the entire game with NFTs. There's obviously for a holder, there's a lot like the incentive for players to actually have these, because you can start breeding NFTs. And then players who have Evolution 1 NFTs can also breed those and create more NFTs with that. And on the NFT marketplace, players are able to earn these. There's also going to be a cooldown on mutations. So obviously people can't just flood the entire market with more NFTs. And obviously good NFTs, which are the legendaries and whatnot, have a lot lower cooldown than the commons. So there's a way for players with good NFTs to mutate more often. And then after that, we also have the harvesting luck, which basically either increases your yield or makes a successful farm, because obviously there's a chance of insects ruining your farm. So basically players are having a higher chance at earning more crops and actually have a successful harvest. So there's no direct earnings from the having better NFTs, but the way it works is being able to get more crops, get better NFTs out of them more often, basically, and just ways for players to get more basically out of the better NFTs.
Awesome. That's really cool. So I know you said that they're coming out soon. How can we buy them? Is it through a loot box, or do we get to select which ones we want, and how much do they cost?
So as of right now, we are releasing, they are going to be in the farmers market. So basically when you go into the game, where you can also check buy DogeVille for BNB and the other way around. There's a second tab to mint the seed. This is where will be able to mint 20 of them. So here's basically where you can buy them. And then the other way is through the barn, where it's basically a giveaway with a ticket raffle. Players that stake them in there are able to earn them that way. But yeah, in the basically in the market, players are able to earn them. You're not able to select a seed or whatever. All these seeds are with random stats. So through the random stats, you can see how good your NFTs are. The uncommons, the legendaries and everything will not be released yet. That's going to be coming at a later stage. And as far as how many, so basically there's going to be they are going to be randomized. So it's either you get a potato or whatnot. And then there's going to be a limit on them. So basically it's going to be 75 divided by the 8 NFTs we have, in that kind of sense. And that's as far as how much they're going to be costing. That's going to be releasing tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be having more information about the Evolution Zero NFTs, which is basically going to be coming out Tuesday.
Awesome. And I guess the last question is, did you say that they're purchased in DogeVille or are they BNB or either?
So they are purchased in DogeVille because we're trying to create a sink in DogeVille tokens. These tokens won't be dumped on the market or whatever. These tokens are just going to be taken out of circulation. So we've done it in DogeVille to take out more tokens and to drive up the tokens price, basically.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thanks for answering my question. That makes perfect sense. Make sure you come back and let us know those NFTs are on sale, please.
No problem.
Definitely.
All right, Noah.
Yep. Okay, so I think I'm going to go to some community questions. Fadwa is up. Go for it, Fadwa.
Hello,
Hello?
sir, can I ask question?
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. You can go ahead and
I
ask
want to
the
know
question.
if people want to remove the crops from their land and want to build a house or some kind of building, will they be able to do it?
So we are thinking of ways. So later down the pipeline, this won't be in Q1 of 2022. However, later down the line, we want to create ways for people to spend DogeVille tokens on like cosmetics and whatnot, and people can have like custom farms bound to like their wallet address. So like they load in their wallet and they're going to be having custom farms. The way it's set up through wallets, basically, if you just have your custom wallet ID, we are able to do a lot of things with that, and we are able to like create skins or whatnot, and the players that like earn, they can come in like an NFT way or whatever, and like players that have these NFTs are able to like load up their farm and actually like see a customized farm. So we're thinking of multiple ways of doing this, like making custom like houses, like the way you said it, or like having cosmetics, so like players can like have a custom character. Like we want to later down the line maybe like implement characters to the game, and players are like able to buy like custom hats and whatnot, like ways for people to like have a customized DogeVille experience, basically. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you for the question, Farwa. Next up, we have Aisha. Take it away.
Okay. Sir, I have two queries. First, I want to know that will the weather changes be integrated into the DogeVille to make game more attractive and interesting? And secondly, will the crops be affected by pests to make game more realistic, so players have to use pesticides to prevent damage? Thanks.
Great question. So for the first question, we have a way for like weather in its kind of in a way. So we have like a winter season going on. I think we are going to be changing the map like 4 times a year right now, as of stands right now, to integrate like seasons into the game. However, we are thinking of ways like we can make this more customized, like adding rain or whatever to the game. We're just like thinking of multiple ways of doing that. And then like what the second part of your question, or the second question, yes, we are going to be having like ways for the farm to basically fail. So like you are going to have like the harvesting luck, and the better harvesting luck you have, basically, is the better way your farm is able to succeed, because your farm can fail. And due to insects or whatever, we are like making it like realistic that way, whilst also like making it not 100% guarantee that players are actually able to get their crops.
All right, sir. Thank you for answering. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a great question. Next up, we got OG King Cam. Go for it.
Hey, Peter. Peter, I just wanted to know, how have you and your team managed to accomplish such a following and support basis without having CMC or any of the typical means of hype?
That's a great question. So a lot of our holders and investors come from basically word of mouth. So before starting this project, we had a 500 BNB pre-sale with about 350 people in the Telegram at the time, which is an insane conversion rate. We filled the pre-sale in an hour as well. And people don't typically put that much into a project without knowing like what's up. So a lot of our investors have seen other projects of mine, know my name, or like somebody in the team out there that can vouch for us, and basically seen that what we've made in the past and know that they can trust us. That's where like our first few holders came from, as well as so like what you said. A lot of our holders, we haven't done a lot of marketing, so a lot of our holders basically come from word of mouth. So the way it works, the way that we have strategized, we have thought about a lot of ways of doing this. And speaking from a lot of experience, the best way to do it is to get to really rally the player base, your holders behind you. Create a solid core in which players, all your holders, are literally rallying behind you. And if there's any FUD or whatnot, there's 10 people to support you at any given moment, and really making it so all the holders can really trust you and the project, and really creating a solid core of holders before you start reaching out and start doing a bunch of marketing. Because if your project does blow up, and let's say you go from 1,000 Telegram members, which we're at right now, and you go to 10,000, those other 9,000 people haven't been here since the start and don't know what's up so early on. So these people are going to like have a lot of questions, and sometimes even like stupid questions, which are really obvious to others but might not be so obvious to them, which can maybe frustrate like other new holders or like make them think that we might not be legit or whatever. But then you have like these 1,000 people which have been here since the start and know that your project is legit, and they can really help you. Like except like you don't even have to have like a massive staff team if like the rest of all your holders of these 1,000 people, let's say, are here to support you and like to help the other 9,000. Like that's a great way for you to get your project started. Like you need to create it's not a cult, but you really have to create it so like all the holders you have really believe in your project and are here for the best, like have the best like know the best for your project and want the best for your project, and creating a way that like your holder base is so solid that nothing can like really hurt it. So like, let's say for example, we moved up from about 600k market cap to about 2.7 million, whilst BNB prices were crashing. Whilst BNB prices went from 600 to 500, we managed to move up from this low market cap to 2.7 million, and we had no FUD. The prices dropped from 2.7 to 2.1 because one of our wheels got out, which is totally fine. Like I advise people like, hey, if you want to sell. We're not here to tell anyone, hey, stay with your project, don't sell. We don't make any false promises. We're not saying, hey, our project's gonna times 1,000. This is like we don't know what's going to happen. We try to do the best. Like obviously it's your money, and you know what's the best for it. So if people want to get out, that's fine to them. But once our project dropped from 2.7 million to 2.1 million, we were able to basically have no FUD or whatever, and everybody stayed positive. This was due to our community just being very strong. We might be small, but everybody knows what's up, and everybody has like the same mission for DogeVille to really make it a mission to make it successful. I hope that answers your question a bit.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, next up, Isabella. Go for it.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to know which kind of crops can be grown currently in the game, and can't you buy fertilizers from the marketplace or any shop available in the game?
So I would have to get the exact crops for you right now. Give me a second. But what I can tell you though, we have the potatoes, which we shared some images from before, which I can also get for you. Let me check. Let me get to you a list of all the crops we have. Let's get this. Okay, so at the start of the game, we are going to have tomatoes, potatoes, corn, peas, garlic, radishes, lettuce, and zucchini. These are going to be the basic crops, so these are like going to be common at the early stages, and like later move up. But yeah, these are going to be the first crops of the game.
Thank you for your question. Next up, we got Venice.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, I want to know that if we want to grow different kinds of crops in the same land, if we have one land and in that land, I want to grow multiple crops. So how can we do it, and on what factors selling price of those crops depend?
So players are actually able to use their NFTs multiple times. So if you have one NFT, with the water, you're basically able to plant your NFT 5 times. I think we had decided on, which don't quote me on this, but I think we're going to be having 8 farmlands. So players are able to plant their 8 seeds at a time, basically. So you're going to be able to basically grow 8 potatoes at once. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't think was that your question, or like, so you're basically going to be able to plant 8 crops at once. Basically, you're going to have 8 spots for 8 crops, and they can be whatever.
And how and what factors selling price of those crops depend?
So the fact is to the DogeVille price to sell them, or?
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay. So as of right now, when they do release and we are able to sell the crops, there's obviously going to be multiple factors to this. How much they are wanted by other players, like on the player economy, and this price is obviously going to be made by the players themselves if they think it's more valuable to like have more crops to buy them or to sell them. Obviously, if there's like a higher sell demand than a buy demand, the prices are going to be lower. However, we're going to be creating multiple ways of making sure the price stays up. This is also why we are buying up DogeVille tokens in a way early on. We can maybe early on when the prices are very unstable, we can maybe stabilize prices a bit by buying up here and there, as far as that goes. And then we also have the instant sell for basically DogeVille tokens, which we are going to be adding later on. So let's say you have wheat, you are going to be making bread, and this bread can be sold to either other players or sold to a direct vendor for DogeVille tokens. And then also you might think hey, why would anyone buy bread on the market then? We are going to be creating ways of let's say an NFT. There's this super crop or whatever you can obtain through having let's say 500 bread and turning it into an NFT. Just making multiple ways for players to have an incentive to actually buy the bread on the market and drive up price.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem.
Next up, we have Snow66. Go for it. Snow66, you're up.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sir. My question is, as people are not really comfortable putting their money first without seeing what they are gonna get. So do you have any demo version available where we can get to know what kind of game is it?
So we have the first demo out actually already. It's not a demo, it's actually the real game. So if you go to our website, which is DogeVille.finance, there's a play now button where you can load up the game. There's not many functions to it yet. We have the barn and we have the marketplace out right now, but people can get a feel for how it's going to be working. And yeah, for the NFTs, obviously people have to put their money in first. However, we made it in a way that the NFTs are randomized. It's not saying that one is specifically better than the others, because it's all randomized, let's say, so everybody has a fair chance at getting good or the best NFTs. But yeah, if you want to go to DogeVille Finance, you can check out the demo or sorry, not the demo, the game there.
Thank you for your question. And let's go with one last question right here. Totes, take it away. Totes, you there?
Oh, sorry guys, I was muted. I just wanted to check, did you guys have any farming experts involved in the development of algorithms? Or as in, I have farming experience, so will I have some kind of advantage over someone who's new playing to the game, or will it be the kind of situation where someone with some kind of statistical analysis will be able to get to the top?
So obviously there's going to be a way for players to get the best returns by having if they have a lot of experience with math or whatever, they obviously can come up with ways to maximize their profits. However, we are trying to make it a way that it's fair for everyone, but obviously we can only do this to a certain degree. There's players that really put their put a lot of work into finding the best ways to optimize their farms and get the most DogeVille tokens out of it, are obviously going to have the best returns. But we're trying to find ways and making sure that we implement ways to make it basically fair to everyone, and everybody can earn a decent DogeVille share from playing the game.
Cool, thanks very much.
Well, thank you so much for your questions, and thank you for being here. If you have anything else to say, Peter, go for it. Otherwise, we wish you the best of luck with your project.
Yeah, just one last thing. If you guys want, liked what you heard, you like what I said, make sure to check us out at DogeVille.finance. You guys can also check our Telegram out or Discord if you have any questions. There's always somebody to help you. And if you want to know more, we had a general briefing a bit ago on a YouTube channel, which you can also check if you want to have more information on our project. But yeah, that's basically it.
Oh, we have a spin the wheel too, Noah. I'm setting it up now. If you want to hang on for 30 seconds.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, let me share my screen. I got everybody here. Share screen. This one. Can you see the purple wheel, everyone? We scraped the name like a few minutes ago. So anybody joining in at the last minute, that's not the way to go about it, guys. Let me just shuffle it. We're doing 3 winners tonight. So shuffle, 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 and the first winner. Mr. Hendrick. Remove you, shuffle it again, and the second winner. Second winner is Redwood. And for our third and final winner, Dairy Milk. There you go. We will contact you to get your wallets and send your prizes over.
All right, great. Congratulations, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and close out the VC then.